Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Appreciation Day 2023 at Bulli Ambulance Station. My name is Jade Marks, Superintendent and Acting Associate Director, Clinical Operations, Southern Sector for New South Wales Ambulance. I would like to start today by acknowledging the traditional owners of the land on which we meet, the Dharawal people, and pay my respects to elders past, present, and extend that respect to Aboriginal people and colleagues that are here today. It is a great honour to be able to officiate this special event today, which shows appreciation for all New South Wales Ambulance staff and volunteers who each play an important role in delivering exceptional patient care as a part of the New South Wales health system. It is my pleasure to warmly welcome the Honourable Ryan Park MP, Minister for Health, Minister for Regional Health, Minister for the Illawarra and the South Coast, Marianne Stewart MP, Minister for Heathcote, Dr Dominic Morgan, ASM, Chief Executive, New South Wales Ambulance, Paul Deeb, Chaplain, New South Wales Ambulance, Paramedic Jared Brown, who will conduct an acknowledgement of country, the Toga family, local emergency services partners, local health partners, New South Wales Ambulance staff members, and friends and family members of our staff members. This event will include a presentation of New South Wales Ambulance Honours and Awards and the Minister for Health's Bursary Award for Excellence. I would now like to invite Jared Brown to the stage to conduct an acknowledgement of country, who will be followed by Chaplain Paul Deeb to conduct the Chaplain's Prayer.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Jared. I'm a Dharawal man, as is my father, his father before him, his father before him, going back thousands and thousands of years, since before written language was invented. I really want to thank the elders, both from a long time ago and the ones we have with us today, for being the custodians of this land and the guardians of our culture. It's the oldest living culture in the world. It's something valuable. We're very lucky to have it in Australia. One of the most important things in our culture is to be a healer. It's a privilege and a sacred duty. I think it's great that we're here today. It takes a lot of bravery, a lot of sacrifice, a lot of compassion in order to perform this job. And I stand on the shoulders of my ancestors in order to do it, and just all those who have come before us. And it's great that we can be here on Dharawal land. Right now we're in Bulli. Bulli means two mountains. And if you look out to the right, guess what you'll see? And we're also in the Wollongong region. Wollongong comes from the word Woolyounga, which means 5 islands. Guess what you'll see if you'll look out to the ocean? With names, we're not the most creative people. But some names can be quite pretty. And I think my favourite one's Illawarra, which comes from the word Allura, and that means a pleasant place by the lake. I think that's a fantastic name. This area has always been a traditional meeting place for my peoples. It's a place for people to come together, to trade and share stories. If you come here in peace and to make the world a better place, then you're welcome here. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Paul, and thank you for the invitation to Ambulance Appreciation Day. At New South Wales Ambulance, we value every single one of our people and their families. We are committed to supporting their well-being. Our chaplains are part of a diverse team with staff health, providing support and care for all staff. Our volunteer chaplains from multiple faiths bring care and compassion with a unique viewpoint of the human soul, seeking to be a source of unbiased support to all ambulance staff, families and bystanders at incidents and events in life, whether traumatic, celebratory, or anything in between. My name is Paul Deeb, as I said before, chaplain in New South Wales Ambulance. I'm of the Christian faith, and I consider it an honour and a privilege to be here today to pray for our paramedics and staff today. I would like to invite those of you who would like to join me in this prayer to do so, and any who may not. I am hopeful we are still united in sincere sentiment of this prayer. Almighty God, Father, I thank you for the opportunity to celebrate the amazing work of New South Wales Ambulance and to bring this workforce before you today as we share stories and celebrate the achievements and support provided by these amazing people. Thank you for their skill, dedication and commitment to excellence that we seek to recognise today. We are mindful of countless other stories that may not be mentioned or recognised today, but are known to you. Please, God, give our staff continued courage as they do the important work of caring for the sick and injured. I thank you for the commitment and dedication of past and present personnel, paramedics and New South Wales Ambulance who have dedicated their lives in service to this community. May everyone present... Oh, something dropped. That was, not to worry. God's in charge. Here we go. Nothing fell from the roof, thank God. So, where am I up to? We're dedicated. May everyone present be blessed in their caring ministry, and please give them the skills and character to continue to carry out this challenging work. Father, I pray that you protect them from harm, and may they demonstrate an attitude of love and compassion. Please grant them wisdom and peace. Thank you, Lord, that you hear our prayers and for your amazing grace towards us. I ask this in Jesus' mighty name. Amen.
Thank you, Jared and Paul. I would now like to welcome New South Wales Ambulance Chief Executive, Dr. Dominic Morgan, ASM, to make the welcome address.
Thanks very much, Jade. Good morning, everybody. Could I just commence by acknowledging also the traditional custodians of the land, the Dharawal people, and particularly can I say thank you to Jared, wherever he disappeared to. I always get so much out of the welcome to country, and I think when we take a little bit of time to pick up on some of the stories and the history of the rich tapestry of Australia, we always learn so much more than just repeating a few words. But in commencing, I would like to acknowledge those traditional custodians of the lands upon which we're meeting today and pay my respects to elders past, present and emerging. Could I also welcome the Honourable Ryan Park, MP, Minister for Health, Minister for Regional Health and Minister for the Illawarra and South Coast, the Honourable Marianne Stewart, MP, Member for Heathcote, and also could I thank Chaplain Paul Deeb for his words, and again, thank you so much, Jared, for your kind words. Importantly, folks, we have some very esteemed guests with us today. We have the Toga family, Stephen, our colleague, who tragically lost his life in the line of duty earlier this year. Could I welcome Maddie Toga, and in her first outing ever with New South Wales Ambulance, Lily Toga. Can I also welcome Jeff, Jill and Jess, and thank you so much, and Sam for attending today, your courage in attending, because I know that this is an important event and ambulance was such an important part of Stephen's life as well. So thank you so much for being here. Our other emergency service colleagues, thank you for giving up your time, but most importantly, our award recipients and our staff who we're here to say thank you for today. It's clearly a great privilege for me to be here today. You can imagine, as a career paramedic myself, to see that our organisation has grown over such a long period of time, to see the advent of registration of paramedics, to see the movement towards tertiary education, the investments made by repeated governments in making us the fit-for-purpose, capable ambulance service that we are today. And so to see people lining up to actually get the recognition and be appreciated for their service is one of the most enjoyable things that you can imagine for me as a chief executive. Because obviously I stand here, I can't invite all the thousands of people that we touch their lives every single year to an Appreciation Day event, but we can certainly say thank you on their behalf. I often reflect on the issues that drive us as paramedics, and I think when you get down to its core, it's really what we mean to each other. the teamwork, the camaraderie, the closeness, the relationships that you have that are hard to explain to other people what it means to work at New South Wales Ambulance. It's a certain bond, it's a certain understanding, and it's difficult to understand and talk to other people about. And that's often associated with what we understand from our frontline paramedics and clinicians. But there is a whole world of people that make this organisation run behind. Our corporate staff, our support staff, the people that make sure our paramedics have the equipment that they need at the moment they need it, that we have the best of everything, that get the pipelines going so we get the right investment. I often retell the story now that on the 24th of December in 2022, it was 2021 now, gosh, right in the peak of the pandemic. And we were right smack being hit by another wave. And on the 24th of December, I asked all of our staff, corporate staff, to come in on the Saturday before Christmas Day and get me another 250 paramedics in 5 weeks to hit the road. And not one person complained. They all left their families, they all came in, delivered, and guess what? We got those 250 paramedics on the road by the end of January. An amazing effort, the quiet achievers. And that's why it's such an important day that New South Wales Ambulance recognises all of the workforce that works here. Particularly, we've got some recipients of awards today, and I particularly want to acknowledge them as we go through, and we'll hear a little bit more about their achievements. And also, can I just particularly call out the fact that the Minister is here today, and he does need to be in Goulburn pretty much in the next hour for another announcement, which I think it's fair to say, without letting the cat out of the bag, we're all going to be very happy with, which is why the Minister will need to depart pretty much shortly after. Thank you all very much sincerely for giving up your time to be here today, and I hope you enjoy the celebration that is Appreciation Day. Thank you.
Thanks, Dr. Morgan. I'd now like to call on the Honourable Ryan Park to address the Psalm.
Thank you very, very much, and I too would like to acknowledge the traditional owners that are all people and pay my respects to elders past, present and emerging. Thank you for that beautiful welcome to country, to Dominic Morgan. I'll talk about Dom in a moment. Thank you very, very much for the work that you do. To my colleague, Mary Ann Stewart, the member for Heathcote, probably second best electorate in the thing. But to the Toga family, thank you so very much for being here. You have demonstrated in the worst of times the very best of humanity, and you gave an opportunity for a new minister to learn a lot, so thank you very, very much. To Maddie in particular, and to Lily Mae Stevie, your first, as Dominic says, first trip to the ambulance. Thank you very, very much personally from me as well. Your children will grow up very proud of Stephen, as we all are. So thank you very, very much for being here. To all of you, the department gave me a detailed speech, but just let me talk to you more just as your minister, which is important. From Dom, can I say that being a new minister is always a challenge. It's even harder when you're incredibly impatient like me. And Dominic has been an incredible amount of support for me, but also guidance and understanding. Probably sillily, but everything the department brings up I read. And so I'm always asking him unusual questions about different stuff in ambulance, and he always takes the time to take me through it, steers me to a direction where we think we might be able to do better, is prepared to challenge the system and see what we can do in terms of that. And I just wanted to say thank you, Commissioner, because I know your job is very, very difficult, and but I just wanted to say thank you as well from me personally. Thank you very, very much. To all of the paramedics, the emergency call takers, the dispatch, the corporate staff who are with us here today, You've got no idea how proud I am to be your minister. It is an incredible honour for me. Every single time I see an ambulance on the road, I think, wonder where they're going, what are they doing? That sense for me that you are deeply ingrained into the work that I do every single day. And we have got more work to do. The big challenge now is appropriately and professionally recognising paramedics and recognising them, how the extent to which their skills have changed and the career has changed. Dom often talks about, as a career paramedic, how previously community saw them essentially as drivers of a truck. That's long gone. You are now some of the most well-trained medical professionals in the country, if not the globe. And we all, particularly me, has to try and find a way in which we can appropriately recognise that. I understand that challenge, and I'm up for that challenge. These challenges are always difficult and will always come with an enormous amount of work. But I ask you to go on that journey with us as we try to reshape and reform paramedics and ambulance for the next 10, 15, 20 years going forward. But today is also about recognising individuals and saying on behalf of the community, particularly a community that Marianne and myself represent here in the northern parts of the Illawarra, but the region broadly, thank you very, very much. You come to us at the worst of our times, the most difficult of our days. And I know, and I think all of us know, who have had to call a paramedic, how incredibly grateful we are when we see that ambulance come. I know my son, and he's a mountain biker and a skier and a rugby league player, so he's one of your frequent flyers. He's had multiple fractures and he came off his bike and broke both of his wrists. And he was in a world of pain and of course wanted to continue to ride as they do. But I remember him saying after all, we'd all settled down and everything like that, I said, mate, when did you feel a little bit better? He said, when the ambulance arrived. And I'll never forget that. I'll never actually forget that, because even as a little child, he understood and had embedded in him the important work and the role that the men and women of the mighty New South Wales Ambulance Service play. So today is about saying thank you. Today is also about recognising we've got more work to do. Today is also about later on announcing that the government will be committing to 500 paramedics for regional, rural and remote New South Wales. A game-changing investment off the back of what the ambulance has been calling for in our more remote communities of New South Wales. But today, most importantly, is our way of saying thank you to you. Thank you for the work that you do, both behind the scenes and on the front line. And thank you for your service, not only to the communities that we're very fortunate and proud to represent in the oldest parliament in the country in Macquarie Street, but also on behalf of every community across this great state. I'm very proud to be your minister. I'm very proud that you've given me the opportunity to do this incredible job, and I look forward to working with you going forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Minister Park. I would now like to welcome Marianne Stewart MP, Member for Heathcote, to make an address.
Thank you. I too would like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land in which we meet and pay our respects to their elders past, present and emerging, and thank them for their custodianship for well over 60,000 years. I stand up here very proudly to acknowledge all of you today, in particular those that are getting the awards, the recipients, but thank you for the work that you do every day of your lives in taking care of each and every one of us in our community. I would also like to take the time to thank your families, because this is not an easy job and they need to be acknowledged and they need to be thanked for the support that they give you on a daily basis. The challenges that you have, the emotional roller coasters that you must go through, I can only imagine. And then you come home to your beautiful families and you rest and you're supported and loved and cared, and then you're back on the road again the next day. So thank you from each and every one of us in the community, and as Ryan said, as the government right across New South Wales. I look forward to working with you and supporting you in the next few years, and if there's anything that I can do, very happy to hear from you. Reach out anytime. Take care, and thank you.
Thank you, Ms Stewart. I'd now like to welcome Minister Park, Ms Stewart and Dr Morgan back to the stage to present the Minister's Health Bursary Awards for Excellence. Yeah, the dots.
Pretty obvious.
Yeah. There are 5 finalists for the Ministers for Health Bursary Awards for Excellence. Please come up to the stage as I read out your name. You will then receive your certificate from the Minister before you pose for a photo with the Minister, the member for Heathcote and our Chief Executive. Then please move to the side but remain on stage as I announce the other finalists. Sally Groves. Inspector Sally Groves has consistently driven staff welfare and excellence in care, evident through her tireless mentoring and coaching of her team. Ms Groves is committed to continuous improvement and skills development. Ms Groves' excellence is seen in her empathy and emotional intelligence. Following the tragic loss of a fellow paramedic on duty, she was a pillar of support to her team, especially to the many trainee paramedics who were his classmates. Ms Groves is an exceptional leader and manager. She is authentic, compassionate, and strives for a healthy, inclusive, and safe workplace. Stephen Lobley. Superintendent Stephen Lobley is a high-achieving team member in aeromedical operations with his all-round knowledge of New South Wales Ambulance specialist wilderness and remote area response capabilities. Mr Lobley led the air-to-ground communication project, demonstrating excellence in leadership by identifying and addressing risk and implementing operational protocols which improve radio communications in remote areas. Mr Lobley exemplifies a leader who engages with the daily challenges of his role while supporting and encouraging the wider team. He listens to the expertise of others and acknowledges the value of all members in the team.
Thank you.
Nicole Packham. Coordinator Clinical Quality Registries, Nicole Packham is a highly valued member of Clinical Services who works tirelessly on the Cardiac Arrest Registry. She supports and collaborates with other business units to achieve their strategic objectives. Ms Packham's knowledge and capability with the RedCap platform is exemplary as she builds this expertise amongst her colleagues. Ms Packham is an asset to New South Wales Ambulance, both within clinical systems and across the entire organisation. Elizabeth Thompson. Chaplain Elizabeth Thompson is part of the chaplaincy service, a multidisciplinary team which provides a non-judgmental support to New South Wales Ambulance staff and their families. This service is available around the clock for post-incident support and pastoral care. Ms Thompson is a compassionate team member who supports all staff with a particular understanding of mental injuries and resulting mental health from traumatic events. Rebecca Tolk. Inspector Rebecca Tolk is an exceptional leader who demonstrates excellence through her people management, patient and paramedic advocacy and clinical care. She has both built strong relationships with her immediate team, her extended professional workplace, as well as the wider community. Ms Tolk works within the community which has been subject to multiple natural disasters over recent years, including bushfires and floods. She's taken these as an opportunity to engage in future planning in multiple community and emergency services groups. Her efforts have streamlined New South Wales Ambulance's emergency response, specifically in regards to potential future flooding emergencies of the Hawkesbury area. It is my pleasure now to announce the winner of the 2023 New South Wales Health Minister's Bursary Award of Excellence, and that person is Sally Groves. Thank you, everyone. I'll do you. Our 5 bursary, can you leave? Congratulations again. I would now ask Minister Park, the member for Heathcote, and Dr Morgan to remain on stage as Dr Morgan presents local New South Wales Ambulance Honours and Awards to our staff. As I read out your name, please join us on stage to accept your award from Dr Morgan and pose for a photo with Dr Morgan, Minister Park, and the member for Heathcote. Please remain on stage until I finish reading your particular citation, and then you are able to take a seat after the photo. New South Wales Ambulance suffered unprecedented bushfire season during 2019-2020. New South Wales Ambulance staff and volunteers worked collaboratively with the community and other emergency services, demonstrating commendable teamwork and courage. The following awards are in recognition of these efforts. The Commissioner's Unit Citation for Courage was introduced in 2005 as a higher award where the efforts of a group warrant more substantive recognition. Is it awarded to a group or a person who, under hazardous circumstances, collectively displayed courage of a higher order based on that of expectation, whilst consistently placing themselves at a substantial risk of injury. It is a red brooch with a gold frame. Paramedic specialist Martin Sleebs was integral in New South Wales Ambulance's bushfire emergency response, being tasked on a complex mission to access 21 people trapped for 3 days in Tin Pot. The crew took 5 hours to access the town, where they treated multiple patients for minor injuries and dehydration. A convoy of the township's private vehicles with all residents was organised to safely evacuate both emergency services personnel and Tin Pot residents. New South Wales Ambulance commends Mr Schlieb's courage and dedication to duty during this difficult and challenging time. Congratulations. Oh, did we get... Acting Manager, Health Relationships, Jason Tanti, was integral in the New South Wales Ambulance bushfire emergency response, responding to a patient in active labour with multiple complications. Transport was undertaken on a closed road due to active fires, with periodic escort by New South Wales Rural Fire Service vehicles. Mr Tanti had driven through dense smoke haze and navigated a falling oak tree directly in their path. The patient or the patient's child was then delivered safely. New South Wales Ambulance commends Mr Tanti's courage and dedication to duty during this difficult and challenging time. Congratulations. The Commissioner's Unit Citation for Service was introduced in 2005, allowing for a higher award where the efforts of a group warranted more substantive recognition. It is awarded to an individual or group who collectively demonstrates an outstanding dedication to duty and provides diligent service to New South Wales Ambulance. It is a red, blue, red brooch framed in silver. Coordinator Clinical Volunteers Michelle Rawlinson was integral in New South Wales Ambulance's bushfire emergency response by working on the high-intensity state incident management team, providing valuable support to all of New South Wales Ambulance, but particularly frontline operational personnel. She also worked in the Southern Sector Incident Management Team. New South Wales Ambulance commends Ms Rawlinson's dedication to duty and service during this extended, difficult and challenging time. Congratulations. Thank you, Geraldine. On the 31st of October 2021, New South Wales Ambulance and other emergency services were called to a capsized fishing boat at Waniora Point off Bulli Beach. The boat had capsized approximately 50 metres offshore. Through collaborative efforts of bystanders and surf life-saving groups, an early response was activated to rescue the 8 males involved in the incident. Both on and off-duty paramedics worked as a cohesive team with clear communication despite an incoming tide and numerous bystanders. New South Wales Ambulance commends the following staff members' dedication to duty during this extremely challenging and difficult situation. Paramedic Katie Hawkey, Paramedic Anthony Hurley, Paramedic Specialist Lawrence Knight, Paramedic Julie Renshaw, and Dispatcher Emma Burke. Today then, as part of the Appreciation Day celebrations, we also have certificates of appreciation to be presented. These certificates are special recognition of our staff as nominated by their respective teams. Rachel Avnell. Communications Assistant Rachel Avnell received a call regarding a young female hanging under a lighthouse. Despite the challenges of poor phone reception and constant callbacks, Ms Avnell encouraged and reassured the caller. She thought innovatively when the caller had nothing to cut the patient down with, suggesting he might be able to use any sharp rocks located around him, which worked very well. Congratulations, Rachel. Chantel Connell. Communications Assistant Chantel Connell has displayed great leadership to support her colleagues, sharing knowledge and focusing on staff welfare. She comes to work every day with a positive attitude and is always willing to help to do the best for patients and her team. Congratulations, Chantel. Susan Dodds. Acting Manager, Health Relationships, Susan Dodds, has worked extremely hard on building strong relationships within the Southern Local Health District, with a focus on working collaboratively and initiating and complex communications within the LHD. Congratulations, Susan. Andrew Ferguson. The Paramedic Career Progression event was implemented to support operational staff's career development. The event team worked collaboratively to put together both an in-person event and an online resource. This event featured clinical specialists and managers to teach staff about a variety of roles within New South Wales Ambulance. This collaborative effort not only positively impacted individual staff, but the organisation as a whole, with staff freshly re-engaged and passionate about their future careers. Congratulations, Andrew. Rebecca Gargett. Senior Control Centre Officer Rebecca Gargett strives to enhance staff experience and engaging staff in team building activities. She is an advocate for fundraising and arranges charity activities for children's cancer each year. Ms Gargett also organised last year's live nativity scene for the Christmas decorating competition, which won first place. Congratulations, Rebecca. Brett Garvey. Facility Coordinator Brett Garvey undertakes a broad portfolio of duties which support finance and corporate services, virtual clinical care centre and call taking and dispatch training facilities. Mr Garvey was instrumental in the COVID-19 pandemic response, ordering supplies and creating procedural arrangements for Gladesville whilst coordinating safe access to the buildings. Congratulations, Brett. Anna Glennon. Acting Station Officer Anna Glennon stepped into the role of Acting Station Officer at Wagga Ambulance Station on her return from maternity leave. Her attention to detail and ability to follow up is appreciated by both staff and other station officers. Ms Glennon is organised, reliable and consistent. She spends time with junior staff as it is an asset to the station and New South Wales Ambulance as a whole. Congratulations, Anna. Craig Gruber. Station Officer Craig Gruber manages the station with enthusiasm and goes above and beyond in his support of volunteers. He has a high level of attention to detail and values supporting the welfare of staff. He is effective as a team leader and much appreciated by both his staff and the community. Congratulations, Craig. Thank you. Craig Murphy. Leading hand mechanic Craig Murphy is extraordinarily efficient in managing day-to-day business as usual work such as servicing, rollout of new vehicles, responsiveness to troubleshooting needs and unexpected breakdowns and damage, and sourcing relief or additional vehicles during surge events or unexpected vehicle shortfalls. Mr Murphy and his team service a huge geographical area and liaise with local management teams to ensure operational demand and safety needs are met. Congratulations, Craig. Maggie Quirk. Acting Manager, Health Relationships, Maggie Quirk has worked exceptionally hard in her role, working to build strong relationships within New South Wales Ambulance and the Murrumbidgee Local Health District and other external stakeholders. Congratulations, Maggie. Thanks. Juliet Robinson. In her previous role as State Headquarters Receptionist, Control Centre Officer Trainee Juliet Robertson was often the first point of contact for visitors, callers, employees, couriers, and people simply lost on the Callan Park campus. Importantly, without any notice, Ms Robinson was inundated with callers wanting to pass on their best wishes and thoughts to the men and women of New South Wales Ambulance on the morning of the death of a current serving paramedic. She managed the challenge with a high degree of professionalism and her usual friendly demeanour. Congratulations, Juliet. Sukhavinder Singh, Manager Frontline Billing. Sukhavinder is required to contact members of the public who've raised concerns about invoices they may have received from New South Wales Ambulance. A number of these calls are made to people who do not understand how ambulance billing works or the options that are available to assist them with their treatment, in paying for their treatment and care. Mr Singh is adept at working with people of all ages and dispositions to help them reach their best possible financial outcomes in a highly empathetic and caring manner. Congratulations. Mark Stevenson. Mark is a paramedic specialist who is well respected by his colleagues for his easygoing nature as well as his work ethic. He always assists other paramedic crews with cleaning of their cars, restocking their kits after big jobs, and providing a voice of experience to junior paramedics. He is a valued mentor to intensive care paramedic trainees. His outside work pursuits include a heavy emphasis on volunteer work with APEX, regularly going overseas to assist with outreach services, building facilities in developing countries. Congratulations, Mark. Elizabeth Thompson. Chaplain Elizabeth Thompson and the chaplaincy team are a vital part of New South Wales Ambulance staff wellbeing initiatives. They provide pastoral and spiritual care to staff and families and are a valuable part of the stepped care approach to support the staff health, the support that staff health provides, including over the recent very challenging years. Congratulations, Elizabeth. Christy Trevethan. Over the past 4 years, Project Manager Revenue, Christy Trevethan, has been asked to address a number of important and high-profile billing issues at short notice and in addition to the constant demands of her day job. She has utilised her skills to prevent automated billings related to the 2019-2020 bushfires in areas that were catastrophically affected, such as Cobargo, Mogo, Sussex Inlet and Lake Conjola. In 2022, Ms Trevethan undertook a similar action to prevent billings in badly flood-affected areas. More recently, she has ensured that families and patients resulting from the Greta bus crash were also spared the potential trauma of receiving invoices. Congratulations. Tim Webster. Control Centre Officer Tim Webster was dispatching when paramedics were involved in a motor vehicle accident in their ambulance. He was faultless in his response, remaining calm, precise and methodical in his documentation was also very thorough. Congratulations, Tim. Thomas Wilkinson. Acting Station Officer Thomas Wilkinson has stepped into the role with a passion for detail and a diligence that is admirable. He is always early for his shifts and stays back in his own time. Mr Wilkinson is often at work on his days off to give handovers and is always available for a call if any explanation is needed. His handovers denote an extremely organised mind, and his effective, compassionate and consistent approach is appreciated by his staff, peers and supervisors. Congratulations, Tom. Excellent. Brendan Scollery. Communications Assistant Brendan Scollery produced his monthly newsletter for Southern Control Centre. His dedication to this project has contributed to improve staff morale through staff introductions, social activities, promotion of wellbeing activities and education on various organisational initiatives and projects. Mr Scollery does all of the work for this in his own time. Congratulations, Brendan. Thank you to Minister Park, Ms Stewart and Dr Morgan. And that concludes our formalities for today. I congratulate each of our award recipients and extend my heartfelt thanks to everyone at New South Wales Ambulance for your service to the community. I now invite you to stay and join us for some refreshments that have been provided by our local Rotary team, as well as to view some of our interactive ambulance displays. Thank you.